Hello, let's learn this beautiful decorative shell stitch. So how I start off with this is I start off with a blanket stitch and I hold the thread that's attached in my left hand just like this. And then this I kind of eyeball the spacing. But if you want, you can use a ruler and make little marks if you want to. This I just try to eyeball. Then I go up through here and under this loop like this, okay? So you always want to make sure this thread's under this thread. And then I pull it taut. Okay, that's your basic blanket stitch right there. Okay, it's kind of small, and normally if you want larger shells, you can go down further and do it that way. I just wanted to cover this basic serged edge. So you want to pull that not as tight as possible, but you want it pretty taut so it's not loose. Let me show you why. Here, see how loose that is? So that's an example. If you don't pull it tight enough, it's not going to match. It's not going to give you that shell effect. See the difference? So what I will do is probably go back and just kind of tighten that up on the back. So we have this nice and tight, and you're going to have to constantly make sure this doesn't twist, your string doesn't twist, because I'm using a pearl cotton thread and it tends to knot and twist very easily. Okay, so I'm holding it like this. We did our basic blanket stitch. Now we're going to do the same thing, but instead of coming over here to do another blanket stitch, we're going to use this little tiny area that we pulled tight, go under it, and again, this thread always goes over this thread, okay? So we're going to do 5 passes. So we're going to do 1, 2, 'See how easy this knots up? But don't force it. If it knots, just keep it real loose and gently get out the knots. So what did I do? 1, 2, 3, or did I do 4? Yeah, 5. Okay. So that's your shell edge. Now let's do this again. About there. Basic blanket stitch. Again, if you get a knot, don't just keep pulling. Gently work it out, or it gets worse, trust me. Been there, done that. Okay, so it's acting like it wants to knot up. So let's go ahead, and all I do is just pretty much dangle this thread till it unwinds. Okay, make sure that's pulled tight again, but not too tight. You don't want any puckering. So let's go through 5 passes. 1, 2, 'And it's okay if you grab some of these threads. That's not that big of a deal. Or thread from your fabric. 3, 4, and 5. Again. And pretty soon when we come to the end of the thread, I'm going to show you how I start and stop thread on this particular piece. Now you've seen me start and stop thread many times. I've got different ways depending on the project, if it's cross stitch or embroidery or something like this. So something like this, we don't want a big old knot showing because this is a napkin. We want it to look nice on both sides. Even though this side has the decorative edge, this side still has the pretty scallop on the top. So we don't want a big old knot showing through. And it's also nice if you like a lot of color. I don't have a lot of color in my home. I just have white and creams. But if you like a lot of color or have a specific color, say you like blue and white, this would be very pretty with the blue thread. Or a blue napkin with white thread. Or whatever. 3. 4. And go slow with this at first. Just make sure that shell lays down nicely. Oh, I need to, and see about every other shell you need to kind of unwind it. I say shell, this reminds me of a shell. Some people call it a scroll blanket stitch. I don't know. I have all my quirky little names for things. But I thought this was so pretty and be beautiful on a napkin. I have some very soft, dusty pink napkins, linen napkins somewhere I'd like to find and do this stitch on. I think it'd be so pretty and have it out for Valentine's Day or something. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, we're judging about how far to go back. Basic blanket stitch. And see how I keep keeping that up? Because I don't want my thread going down. That won't work. By holding it like this, you're guaranteeing that your needle, this needle is going to be above this thread and this loop, half loop here. I hope that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let me explain something else. I've got to unwind this. I am a right-handed stitcher. If you are a left-handed stitcher, you're going to want to hold it this way with your loop and your hand this way and go this way, okay, with your left hand. I can't demonstrate that because I can't do anything with my left hand. But you're going to do kind of just keep in mind you're going to do a mirror image. Again, the main thing that you want to keep, just like a blanket stitch, is you want to make sure this needle goes up and over this thread, okay? So however which way you hold it is the way, you know what I'm trying to say. whichever way you sew, just make sure you're taking your needle under this little tiny line and over this loop. So 1, 2, and as you make these passes, make sure you're not going over the same area. You want to fan it down, so you're going to want to kind of grab it down underneath that last little pass here. 3, 4, and 5. We may turn a corner here soon, and I can show you how to do that. Make that tight. And you can probably see me adjusting my thread as I go along here. 2, 3, 4. And I also try to get looser just a little bit. I don't pull this quite as tight. That way it fans over better. Looks more like a fan instead of a bunch of tight little knots going across. Waiting on my grandson, so you may hear his little voice coming in here pretty soon. 1, let's see, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now we're getting a little too short for my comfort. So we're going to go down under here, okay, because I don't really want it to show. I don't want to go back through this hole, because then you're going to see double threads right there. I don't want that. So I'm just going to go under where I just came out, okay, and pull that. Now, here's the key. So since we have this, I want to go under and get as close to this as possible. So we're trying to be invisible here without being invisible. And I'm going to stab right through that thread there. Okay, and then I'm going to do it one more time, stabbing through that thread to secure it. So you're basically doing a little tiny tack stitch. And then I'm going to go under here, under these threads. Stabbing this next line here. That's why you want to leave just a little bit of wiggle room so you can do all this. And then we're going to cut. Now, let's start another thread, and I'll show you how I start it. We're going to start in the same area, doing basically the same thing. So we're going to start. You got to really make sure you stab that. And then we're going to go right here. Okay, so we come all the way across here. We've secured our knot. And when I say knot, you know what I mean. I'm tacking it down. So when we ended our thread, we came through here. So let's go back through that. So now we are continuing to merge both threads together. Okay, so see, and it's not, I mean, you can tell because this thread's white and this one isn't, but it's not as noticeable. So now we're back to square one. where we go, just like we went through that, we can just continue our blanket stitch like we never even stopped. So we go up one, and then we're going to go through the first pass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We just continue. So I will show you the results of how pretty this looks in just a moment. So I'll be right back. Well, I finished it, but I also added just a little piece of baby's breath on there because I thought it needed a little something. But as you can see, it's all done. And I forgot I was going to tell you about going around the corners. Going around the corners is just the same. You're still spacing it the same apart. And then if it doesn't land on the corner, that's okay too. So you just keep going around. So with corners, there's no really trick to it. But I think this turned out so pretty. I love how this decorative edge is. And you can see it's pretty fast. I mean, it goes pretty quickly. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next thread.